Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Rachel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a caramelized onion pear blue cheese tart. It's perfect for the upcoming holidays. It's a great appetizer and everyone's really going to love it. And it's pretty easy to put together, so let's start. The first thing we're going to start with is the onion, and we're going to chop it up and we're going to start to caramelize it. And the reason we're going to start with it is because it takes the longest. It takes probably about half an hour really to caramelize the onion, because you do it nice and slow just to pull out all the sugars and get them all nice and caramelized from the onion. So I just cut the ends off of my onion and then I cut it in half. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take the edge off. Alright, and now that I've got my peel out, we can chop up the onion one of two ways. I can just do it like this, straight down and in thin slices. Another way we can slice up our onion is to julienne it. And it's really pretty easy, and I like it better because the slices are a little bit more consistent. So you just kind of come in at an angle right here on the edge and then slice up. It's easier once you kind of get vertical. And then once you're like that, then you just put it back down. So we're just going to put those in our pan. Okay. All right, so we have our onion in the pan, and I'm just going to add about a tablespoon or so of oil into the pan. And then I'm going to turn it on high just for a minute, just to get that oil nice and hot. And then we'll turn it down and we'll cook it low and slow and just kind of stir it every once in a while. So this is what it looks like. You can see that it's just starting to kind of turn a little bit brown on the edges. So I'm going to roll out my pie dough now, but every once in a while I'm just going to reach over and stir this. And as I stir it, then I'm going to have some even caramelization. For your pie dough, I went ahead and made some pie dough. You can find my recipe for pie dough if you go to my blog, cookingwithrachel101.com, and look under apple pie. I'll show you how to make a pie dough. If not, if you don't want to make it and you're crunched for time, you can just go ahead and buy the pre-done pie dough, like the Pillsbury rollout dough. But you will need 2 of those, because you really use 1.5 if you do the pre-done. So I'm just going to take my pie dough, which I've just taken out of the refrigerator, and I'm going to roll it out on a silpat so that it doesn't stick. So I'm just going to put the flour down, and then I've got my pie dough here in a baggie. And I'm just going to roll it out. Okay, so I've got my pie dough all rolled out, and it's fairly thin. Take this round little cookie cutter that I've got, and I'm just gonna cut myself some circles. And when I cut them, I just kind of give them a little twist so that I can get them up. Also, the silpat really helps that. You can just peel it right off. So now that I have them cut, I've got 12 of them. I'm just going to take this little disc and I'm going to put it right into a muffin tin. So they look like that. Just go ahead and do it with all 12 of the circles you've cut. And when you're putting them in, just go ahead and push them up the sides a little bit. Just kind of shape them to the muffin tin. So we're going to take the opportunity again to stir the onions. And by now they should be getting a little bit golden on the edges and on the bottom, so give them a nice stir. So now that we have put all of our 12 dough discs into the bottom of this muffin tin, we need to blind bake them. We're going to poke them with a fork, just a couple of pokes in each one. And then we're gonna bake them with nothing in them for 10 minutes on a 400-degree oven. While our crust is baking in the oven, our little tart shells, we are going to cut up this beautiful Bartlett pear. I just cut it like I do an apple. I cut down the one side, and then I turn it, and then I cut each other side. This kind of helps me. I just look at the stem and the bottom as a guide, and I kind of know where the seeds are. So there we go. So I just have that low core, and I get rid of that. Then I can just take this and put them into slices. And because the pear is long, it's not going to all fit into my tart shell. So I'm just going to cut those in half like that. And then I'm going to place those in a bowl. And because pears have a tendency to oxidize and turn brown, we're going to put a little bit of lemon juice on them just to keep them nice and pale. So I've got half a lemon here, and I'm just going to squeeze it through my hand so that I don't get any seeds into my pears. And then just toss them in the juice so it kind of gets all around them. So our pears are done, and I'm just going to stir my onions. You can see that they're turning brown. And around the edges right here of the pan, they're getting dark. So while everything's cooking, our onions and our pastry, we're just gonna get the rest of our ingredients together now that our pears are done. I've got some walnuts here, and I'm gonna use about a half a cup. So I'm just gonna run a knife through them, give them a quick chop. Okay, now that I've gone that way, I'm just gonna take a quick knife through the other direction. Okay, so our walnuts are done. I'm gonna stir my onions again. And I'm gonna get my blue cheese ready. This is a double cream blue cheese. So I just have most of it. I didn't use all of it. I just have most of it crumbled in a bowl, and I probably won't even use what I've got. Okay, so our onions are all done. See how they're beautifully caramelized and they're all sort of even? That's what we're looking for. So now that they're finished, we'll put everything together. Pastry shells have been blind baked, and they're done. And now we're just going to put everything together. And this is the easy part, and especially if you already had pre-done pie shells. Once your onions are caramelized, the hard part's over. And you can actually caramelize your onions in advance, a day or two before, and then just use them when you're ready. So I'm just going to take a few onions and put them in the bottom of each shell. I'm just making a little nest of onions in the bottom. Okay, so I've evenly distributed my onions through these 12 pastries, and now I'm going to top them with my pear. So what I'm going to do is probably about three little pear slices per. And if they're still together, you can just kind of even just fan them out and then put them down, and they look beautiful as well. All right, now I'm going to top with my blue cheese crumbles. Just lay them right on top of the pears. And the pear blue cheese pairing is sort of a classic, so this is just a riff on something that you already know. I didn't quite use all that I had, the 3 ounces, but really close. Then the last thing is just a little touch. We're just going to take our crushed walnuts and sprinkle them on top. Then I'm going to put them back into that 400-degree oven that we blind baked these and finish baking our shells for about 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 more minutes and I just pulled these out of the oven. They look like this. And I'm gonna let them cool a little minute and then put them on a plate. But they're ready for your guests. And to get them out of the cups, I just put a fork down and then pop them out. And they're gonna look like that. So here they are, just ready for your guests. They're really going to love these. So they've got the savory from the caramelized onions. It's got that sharp bite from the blue cheese, the sweet pear, and then the crunchiness from the walnuts. And they're super easy to make. So go to my blog, cookingwithrachel101.com, for this recipe. You'll also find other recipes that you can use for your entertaining needs this season. See you next time.